Thanks for everybody coming today. We're going to start off with Mary's youngest son. He's going to read Psalm 23, say a couple words, and then we'll go on from there. This is a celebration of Mary Whiteside's life. I was able to read this passage over my brother Roger when he passed, and also read it over my mother when she passed. This is a celebration of her life, her faith, her passing, and her hope for eternal life, which is shared in common for all those who believe. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. All right. Thank you, Brian. You have to excuse me. I ain't as young as I used to be anymore. I'll enjoy this. One day you'll be here. All right. So, first of all, thank you for being here to honor and celebrate the life of Mary Magdalene Whiteside. Survived by 5 children, preceded by Roger Whiteside. She had 15 grandchildren, 44 great-grandchildren, 7 great-great-grandchildren. Wow. It's because of her that we are here today. Because of her children, that generations were spawned. Excuse me. You know, I don't know what else really to say at the moment. I can thank her for the life I have. And the decisions that were made to bring this family about. It was because of her and the decisions that she made that we are here today. She started this life many years ago with her first husband, Douglas. And those two made 6 children, Steve and Sheila, Roger and Brenda, Danelle and Brian. And that was the beginning of this family. As time went on, there was many stories to add and many things to say, but there's 2 things I could say about me, both those 2. They believed in salvation. They believed in faith. And one of the reasons they believed in salvation was because of their children and grandchildren. I can't ask you today not to mourn or not to cry. I can't ask you to be happy. But the Lord does ask you to do this. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 4, he says there is a time to weep and a time to laugh, and a time to mourn and a time to dance. There is a time for joy in everything, and a time for sadness too. Which reminds me, my son realized how tough a day this would be for me today. And even though I'm dressed nice, he said, Dad, you need something to keep you happy. So, if you don't mind, he decided to dress my socks. Ninja Turtles this morning. And I thank him for that. And that is true. I mean, we need those. We need those times like we need these children. For every life there is a death, and for every death there is a life. And speaking of that, those two wanted us to make a choice in our lives. They wanted us to have salvation, but they knew it was a choice. And they asked us to make that. Now, what you do today is up to you. And what you do in your future is up to you. But they believed in that because they thought there was an afterlife. And whether you believe in that or not, that's, like I said, it's clearly a choice. If you want to be with your loved ones, and so, I was going to preach on this because they believe in salvation so much, but it's clearly a choice for people to make on their own. I think what I'm going to talk about is their lives in general. Nanny was a special person, and there's many stories to her life. One particular story was with Brian as a young child. He was down in Texas visiting an aunt. Well, they had an old dog, station wagon. They're down there visiting. Brian had to get to school early that morning. She's running around, had to have her coffee. Well, they got the dog chained to the back of the station wagon. So they run out to the car, forget about the dog, drive off. Now you think this would end up pretty bad, but luckily for the dog, the chain snapped as they were driving down the road. Now they're a little worried when they got home that evening, but the dog was still underneath the porch of their Aunt Helen's house. Another story that was told to me was about Steve. He brought his mother great joy. He could never really be punished because he'd get his mom laughing so hard. But one day, he got her laughing so hard as he was running from her, he thought he was safe. He turned around, but the broom handle was quicker than what he was. So we'll go through these, and another good story was, Danelle and Brian were younger. Not many of you know this, but my grandfather wore a toupee. Well, back in those days, it was stylish, I guess. So anyway, he's in downtown Royal Oak. He's with the kids walking down the street. His toupee blows off. He's running after it like a ball cat. And that brought great joy to their hearts seeing that. Why, I don't know. It's another story. You're running after your own hair. Other stories I have with Mary is, one that's dear to my heart. And I wasn't going to go into all the details, but I guess I will. 1975, April 12th, I was born in an old two-story brick house in Valencia. Now, my mom went into labor. Problem was, her favorite show was on, Beretta. Well, good golly, we can't stop, can't have a birth while Beretta's still on. So she tried to hold off as long as possible. Well, my nanny was a midwife, and she decided, we'll have a baby here. Mom finished Beretta. And Nanny tells her during this time that she's giving birth on an old bed upstairs. Brenda, I'm giving you one time to swear. This is your time to say any word you want. So as my mom gave birth, and my nanny held her hand and did what she had to do, words were said that would make a sailor blush. And I came out. Now, that's all said and good, but, when a baby comes out and your grandma screams, "Oh, damn," and your mom's like, "Well, what'd you do?" "Well, I dropped the needle." "It's okay, it'll heal up. It's only a couple of stitches." I don't know what happened in that moment or what way we're talking about, but I'm just going to go with the flow. So a few days later, in fact, that very night, she washed me up and took me around town and showed me about. And, the following day, I was at the hospital. That's another story. I really don't know where to go on from here. She lived her life as she wanted to. She traveled, went to different states. She had 6 beautiful children who gave her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, which is a blessing upon her head. She was a woman who kindly cared about everybody. And all I can say is thank you for coming, showing your support for her. One small prayer will bless dinner and be on our way. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for this moment. Thank you for family. Bless this food that nourishes our bodies. Bless the little ones that will grow before us. In Jesus' name, amen. If the children like to go up first, or the parents who have the little ones want to go up first, actually, I'm sure they're ready to eat.
We ran into them at the restaurant that night. I think it was that night. Yeah. They went up to eat after baby.